All right, so I'm gonna get straight into the point, man. You guys know we got Peter Yan versus Merab Dvalishvili.
What the hell was that?
And I made a video about this a month ago when the fight originally got announced, but I'm just be completely honest with you guys. Petr Yan is going to get a bad, bad beating put on him by Merab. And it's very simple, guys. Like, I get it. Petr Yan is a great fighter all around, but it's not like he's like people forget that his run to the title was like, right place at the right time type of situation. The guys that he beat when he got into the UFC, these were like over the hill guys, I want to say, or guys on the decline. The first early fights didn't really matter much because you guys know those are like tune-up fights for up and comers. He fought John Dodson, who was on a decline, Jimmy Rivera, who was on a decline, a 40-year-old Uriah Faber. Then he fought a Jose Aldo, where Jose Aldo did have a resurgence at bantamweight, but at that time it seemed as if Jose Aldo was also on the decline, and he didn't. And Jose Aldo didn't deserve that title shot when he fought Petr Yan at the time. So Petr Yan came he became a champion off of that. Then he beat Aljamain, or he didn't beat Aljamain Sterling, and he was beating him. He himself is the one that did an illegal knee. That's his fault. And we saw how that played out. And I think he got his biggest win when he beat Corey Sandhagen. That was his actual biggest win. But still, that was against a striker in Corey Sandhagen. He has not faced a wrestler of any extent until he actually fought Aljo. And in the second fight, when Aljo fought much more calculated, Petr Yan lost a split decision. Where things went really wrong for Petr Yan was when he allowed Aljo to get that backpack and pretty much just be able to control him on the ground. And obviously, we saw his most recent fight where he lost to Sean O'Malley. When I first watched the fight, I kind of thought that Petr Yan won that fight. And then when I rewatched it, I was like, yeah, I could see Sean O'Malley winning rounds 1 and 3. And usually I'm not like that. Like, I'm always just objective. Like, I'm honest. I'm never trying to have like a personal agenda as to who I'm picking to win fights. I'm just saying what I truly believe. And that was one of the only fights where I was like, oh, like in the beginning of, when you first watch it, you thought, oh, okay, Petr Yan won. They're probably going to, give it to him because of the takedowns and, stuff. But, that's a different story for another day. But the main point is that Merab's wrestling is just going to be too much for Petr Yan. Like, it's not like Merab has to. I'm not saying he's going to be able to take him down every single time, but Merab does have he does average like 6 takedowns per fight. So that can literally be an issue for him. Now, to be fair, Petr Yan does have a 90% takedown defense, but in the Aljo fight, Aljo attempted like 23 takedowns. He only got 2, but that's all Aljo needed to get certain positions on Petr Yan. Like, people really need to understand, like, this is not some type of world beater that went on an insane spree of just dominant. Like, people act like Petr Yan is John Jones sometimes. I'm being serious. Like, people truly think this man is just like a Terminator or something. I'll be honest, I watched him fight when he fought Corey Sandhagen. I thought that was a beautiful performance. But outside of the Corey Sandhagen win, he doesn't have any wins that's like, oh my goodness, Petr Yan just won this fight. This is so impressive. Like, yeah, he beat Jose Aldo. Ooh, great job. You beat a over the hill Jose Aldo. You beat a 40-year-old Uriah Faber, decline Jimmy Rivera, decline John Dodson. And your only good win in recent years, the past 3 years, is literally Corey Sandhagen. So I just don't I don't really see what people are seeing in Petr Yan that's like making him a lock to beat Merab, especially when we just seen Aljo be able to get dominant positions on the floor in grappling situations. And Aljo is not as good as getting takedowns as Merab is. Merab is a lot more relentless, a lot more technical. Aljo just kind of sets things up. He kind of just flows with it and tries to, reach for takedowns, but he's not out here shooting double legs, shooting single legs. That's not how Aljo gets the fights to the ground. So yeah, this is looking really, really bad for Petr Yan. I'm not gonna lie to y'all. This is looking really, really bad. Am I saying he's guaranteed gonna lose? Maybe he should lose this fight. The only way he's going to be able to win this fight is when he does stuff, because he will be able to stuff takedowns, no doubt about it. But when he does stuff takedowns, he needs to actually be able to hurt Merab. If he can't hurt Merab at any point, or he can't land something damaging, he's going to just get held against the cage or took down. The same thing that happened to Jose Aldo is going to be the same thing that happened to Petr Yan, and I think even a bit worse. because he's gonna try to prove a point after these last 2 losses he's had, split decision losses. He's probably gonna come in here or come into into the octagon with a finishing mindset. I don't see how he doesn't come into the cage like, all right, let me finish the fight. And Merab can get crazy like that too. We've seen what happened when he fought Marlon Moraes. Now I'm not saying Marlon Moraes is some type of we know what happened to Marlon Moraes. He was on a decline, but Merab showed he does have some power in his hands. So people are also forgetting that too. People are gonna forget that Merab does have a bit of power in his hands, and he could possibly hurt Petr Yan. Like we saw Sean O'Malley do it. Obviously, Sean O'Malley's a much more dangerous striker, but we've seen Petr Yan get hurt. We've seen him get out grappled on the floor, get put in bad positions. So I do not know why people act like Petr Yan is some type of world beating legend, but he really is not. He has one good win in the UFC, and it's over Corey Sandhagen. I'm not saying that Merab has insane amounts of wins. He has a win over Jose Aldo too, but styles make matchups, and in a matchup like this with a striker versus a grappler. And before anybody does try to say this, I know that Petr Yan can obviously grapple. He's actually, he can grapple, but clearly he's not going to do that in this fight. Once again, styles make matchups. So you have a guy like Petr Yan that's going to try to strike versus a guy like Merab that will try to wrestle. So I'm not going to rely on Petr Yan. I haven't seen him do anything to where I'm saying, oh yeah, let's rely on Petr Yan. Oh my God. Hell no. So yeah, I got Merab winning this fight. I don't care who gets mad. It's MMA. People love to get mad about every single opinion, so I really do not care. Drop your opinion, man. Drop your opinion. Who do you think, or how do you think this fight's going to play out? And whoever gets this fight right, man, I'll pick one guy or one person, whoever gets right, to give you a little PSN card or Xbox card. Depending on what system you got, I'll give you guys a gift card, and we could go from there. So, yeah, it's pretty simple, y'all. Do me a favor. Drop a like, comment, subscribe, and just enjoy the fights, man. Just enjoy the fights this weekend. We'll see what happens. I'll catch you guys in the next video, man. Peace.